Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to everyone who is here today. And we begin in the name of Allah, the compassionate, the most merciful. And we send peace and salutation upon our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and on his wives, his family, and his companions, and all of those who follow them in doing goodness. Ameen. When I was given this responsibility to talk about the Caribbean community, I thought about it very hard, and I was at loss, basically because I don't really see a Caribbean community or community resident in Europe or specifically in England or the UK. So, from my perspective, there's no community as far as I'm concerned. There are a bunch of people who have some sort of connections to the Caribbean. Some of it is by rice and peas. Some of it is by dumpling and saltfish. Some of it is by Morby. You know, we don't have no jerk chicken. Yeah, we don't really have a sense, as Brother Danjuman say, of who we are. So that is our first problem in defining who we are. Then when I start to think about this topic, the recent events in France occurred. So I said, well, yes, I'll have to deal with this topic with that in mind. Why? What is happening in the Muslim world, in the Middle East, and in Europe, and in the Caribbean, and the Americas, is a symptom of Islam in the modern era. And we as Caribbean people are suffering from that malaise, that sickness. And that sickness basically is that there is no Islamic jamat. There is no Islamic community to speak about. Now, why do I say that? We have problems that we have to address. And what we are seeing is that individuals take it upon themselves to address these problems. People have become muftis. So there's a mufti, there's a guy, he passes a fatwa, and he's the police, and the executioner, and the grave digger. Okay, so that is the problem we have. Why? Because there is no leadership. There is no Islamic leadership in the Islamic world. We have associations. We have presidents. These are Masonic concepts of organization. These are not Islamic organizations. Right? Last Friday, some brothers got very angry with me because I told them that the attitude to the masjid is the same attitude to the pub. We go there, we drink some salat, we eat some vic, and then we go home. We have no attachment, we have no investment, we have nothing in the water. We turn on the water and we do like this. And the water is flowing. You don't pay for it. Okay? Some communities are like Bedouins. They come and they use the facilities and they go on. This is what we are. This is the reality of the Islamic community. Then another aspect I thought about is that failure has become our teacher. Okay, failure has become our teacher because somehow past the 60s and the 70s, I've seen a constant failure of our specific situation, Caribbean people, in the Caribbean, outside the Caribbean, to organize themselves similar to Elijah Muhammad, Marcus Garvey, Noble Drew Ali, and all these people, but with a proper Islam. We have failed. They in there, we might disagree with their theology. They were better organized. They had boats. They had ships, trucks, land, everything. You could have lived and died and be treated by Muslims in the nation of Islam at the time. Okay, from birth to death. Some of us, we live individual lives. And when we die, we have to scramble. Call a brother here. Call a sister here. Who's going to bear the body? Who's going to prepare the burial? You know, some of us act as if we don't need a community. But the reality of Islam is jamat. Umar said, there is no Islam without jamat. And there is no jamat without Islam. There is no Islam without community, and there is no community without Islam. So what is this jamat? Islamic jamat is based on amirate or imamate, leadership. And I am not a Shia, so the leader though has to be pure, a saint, never sin. That don't happen. That was reserved for Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Allah saved the Prophet from sinning so that we can follow his example. Because I've never seen Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, but I've seen people acting like Muhammad. All of us here sitting here, we represent the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So when you act, people interpret your action that is the Prophet action. The non-Muslim have not seen Muhammad either, but based on how we act, they interpret, rightly or wrongly, that this is what Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was about. So in order for us to get it right, we have to establish imamate. We have to choose someone amongst us who will be a leader. And one of the problems with us as Caribbean people is that we tote hate. I don't know if you all understand what I said. We carry hate. We tote hate. Some guy will say, I don't want to be behind this man because in 1972 he watched me with a bad eye and something happened and then I don't want to be with this man because so and so. So at the end of it, there's no one to lead. We must be able to establish leadership. We don't care if the leader has problems. The community should be strong enough to straighten him out. And that is the next thing. We are scared to straighten out leadership. We rather go in a corner and shoo, 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 shoo. We do that. Instead of going to the man and say, hey, so and so and so. Oh, where's that? Okay? Because we have not been accustomed to leadership. Our experience in Islam has been church. Islam has replaced the church. Friday, Sunday worship. Okay? Islam is not about that. The Prophet ﷺ said, if you're going on a journey, you choose an amir. And the Muslim world on a whole has suffered so much from leadership that one guy, we don't know where he comes from, we don't know who he is, and he declares himself a caliph. And 100 Trinidadians run to Syria and Iraq, and they are dying out there. I told them, if this man come and sit down next to you right now, none of you will know who he is. Okay? So that is a problem, is a lack of leadership. because a German guy went to interview the ISIS people, and he said, they asked him, what type of people you saw there? He said, Arabs, this, yeah. And he said, yeah, I saw a whole sort of black people. He said, where are they from? Trinidad. So we have a whole portion of youths, young men. Every week I count up those who die. And what is going on is that it is again a lack of leadership. Because the Muslim world failed to establish a leadership, anyone can claim leadership. When I first came to England, a guy told me there's a caliph. I said, when? Where? How? Yeah, they say they appointed a man a caliph in Afghanistan. He died 2 years ago. Okay? So, this is the problem we have. So people are trying to fill the void. There's a void of proper Islamic leadership. People are trying to fill the void. And that is one of the problems that we face. Now, on this flyer that Ishmael sent to me, it spoke about the achievements of Afro-Caribbean people in terms of education, in terms of scholarship. Okay? But I would like to say, we do not support, nor do we respect our scholars. I'll say it again. We do not support, nor do we respect our scholars. And some people, it affects them. For me, it don't affect me. I don't really care. You see, but everybody's not me. I don't really give, I don't really care at all, whether you accept me or not. It doesn't bother me. But we must respect our leadership. We must respect people who have achieved in our communities. People who have placed themselves or their ideas or their monies or their lives or their properties to further Islam. We must give that respect. So, since I've been coming to this country, they are saying, boy, we have no masjid. The Caribbean people have no masjid. They're throwing us out from this masjid, and the Bangladesh dish, and the Arab dish, and the Arab that. Okay. So I came all the way from the Caribbean and find a mosque, independent mosque, and people living here, and I've never seen them. All the people who have woes and tales, we like to woe you, this bad and that bad, and But there is an organization, okay? I'm not promoting no cult. I'm not promoting no Hizbiyah thing. What I'm saying is that a man has made a sacrifice to establish something for the benefit of the community. Whether his head is wrong or square, it doesn't matter. The thing is there. And brothers and sisters who have problems in terms of establishing a community, we have not gravitated towards that entity. We don't use it. Okay? We don't even recognize it, nor do we give it any support. And if we ask people individually, all of these people have some reason why. But if you look at it, it's not an Islamic reason. Cameroon, as we speak right now, is marching in France. And he's right. Because they protect what they have. I'm not jealous of them. So why can't we protect what we have? Because Islam is going to be in a serious, not Islam, Muslims are going to be in a serious position in this country in the near future. People say mad, but in it has happened already. You see, people come to this country, people come to Europe and do not read European history. Right? Anytime white supremacy is poor and he's in a position of problems, he looks for some minority to hit some hard tap and some clout and some cuff and some boots. This is the history of the people that we live amongst. And it has nothing to do with race. Because if we were not here, they would have advantaged the poor whites. Anyone in a poor, weak position will face the wrath and become the enemy and the cause of all the problems. Okay? I sat, listened to the radio, and Muslims come in, oh, we are sorry, look what happened, you know. So I type and say, why are we begging? I don't care if somebody do that. You have police go and arrest whoever did that. Why do I have to come and beg and say, it's not me? Because that is the position they has put us in. If it's not you, it's your brother. If it's not you, it's your sister. That is the Inquisition, the Spanish Inquisition, where Muslims on Friday have to leave their doors open so that the police could watch and see if they're making salah. Yeah, I heard a woman said that. She said that why the Muslims don't leave the masjids open so we can see what's happening. This is what she said. Now, there's the masjid, and no, there's no problem because it's always open. Maybe there's other masjids, you know, as the salat is finished, the man ting the key, which means you have to get out. Their masjids needs to be open. But what I am trying to get at is that if we do not collectively get together, we will not collectively survive. That is a reality. Ibn Khaldun said that the group that has most group affiliation is the one that will rule and the one that will survive. The people who control this world are families. So sometimes I don't vex, or I'm not upset sometimes when the Bangladeshi and the Pakistani and the Somali say, you want to marry my daughter? Yeah, because I run a man came with a long list to marry my daughter. Have you seen the list? You just pray salat. I said, boy, get out my house. You understand? The man come with a long list. Some bald-head man from somewhere. You understand? I chase him. You understand what I'm saying? Because you see, that robotic, the man himself come with some compassion, with some sweets to charm me, you know, some chocolate. The man come with a long list. How long your hijab is? I'm like, come on, man. Disrespect. So what I'm saying is that I don't blame them. I understand it. I understand it because they have a history of trust, a history of, in all the problems that they have, where all of them belong to one family and been killing one another for 25 years. Despite that, one Somali can give an ex-Somali £5,000 and you'll be sure that it will go to the person he sent it to and it will not be stolen. The Habshil. Despite they have been killing one another for 25 years and all of them are cousins. Abed and Abod and Amu. All of them are cousins. But there are some things that they have retained. For us, we do not know who we are. I remember when we were niggers, Negroes, coloreds, Afro-Americans, Afro-Caribbeans, Hebrews, no. We are Israelites and Ishmaelites, Nubian Islamic Hebrews. Yeah? Okay, so, you know, this is, you know, people, it's not it's a serious thing, you know, it seriously affects our psyche. You know, somebody who's a Bangladeshi and a Pakistani, they don't even understand when somebody does not have a sense of belonging. So what I'm saying is that since we don't have it, let us create it. If we had to call ourselves Bongo British, let us create a tribe. Your daughter will marry my son, and we create a whole tribe. We could give it any name. Because before the 19th century, before the early colonization period, there was no really proper name of a Yoruba tribe. But they got themselves into a tribal situation to occupy land, to have recognition. Now there's a Yoruba tribe. So we could be Bongo British and no problem. You see, so this is what I'm saying, and these are very, very serious things. Because we have to have collective resources. We have to live collectively. Okay? But we can only do that if we trust each other. And that is our biggest problem as Caribbean people. We do not trust each other. That is the biggest problem. And we have to go past that. If we do not go past that, then when your kids, all of us are having children. And these kids, in your presence, yeah, mommy, but they have their friends outside. They have the jamat outside. And that jamat might be around weed, girls, or party. Don't get it twisted, because you were just like that. When you were 17 years old, somebody said, oh, at one time I was calling my daughter, you this and that. I said, but why was worse than that? So let me just pull back, dress back a little bit. You understand what I'm saying? So we were that. And it's worse now. Yeah, the first naked woman I see was in Playboy. You had to sneak it and watch. Right? Now we have a whole, you could download it. You understand what I'm saying? So we live in a more dangerous time. We live in a more dangerous time, and we can only survive with Jamaat. Because one thing I know about Islam has a solution for everything. Every single thing. And we say that, we go to the Christian, Islam has a solution for everything. So where's your solution for your Jamaat? How are you going to raise your kids? Who are they going to get married to? You understand? Next thing, your daughter bring home a man with 5 tattoos on his face, his pants by his knee, and 20 gold teeth. You understand? And he come and say, oh, my paps. Wherefore? And you going crazy. No, these things will happen. No, these things will happen because they are circulating amongst people. Okay? And love has no barriers. Right? And women love bad men. I don't care what they say. Women love bad men. I don't care what, I've proven it. Women love bad men. We offer a woman to marry a proper brother, working everything. Nah. She don't want that. She was some bad boy, you understand me? And then gives us problems now. Boy, the boy knock him up. Boy, the boy do this, he violence, he do this, he go out whole day, we can't see him with his friends. Whole day playing game. But then we want a bad boy, so So this is another problem we have, is that we have too many unmarried sisters, and we have too broken homes. Too many. And so we have a broken home, and we have no community. So how Islam will survive beyond one generation? So it may well happen that you alone is the only Muslim in your progeny. Your grand is a Kufa, your next thing is a Baptist, and down the line, and they say, oh yeah, my great-great-grandfather was a Muslim. It could happen to us. That we are the only person who are Muslims. And we have not transmitted it to our children. Okay, I want to come back on this marriage situation, because I met a sister, and a real dark sister, and she was saying that she couldn't find no brother to marry her because she was too dark. She lucky I was in a wheelchair. But anyhow, and the woman was pretty. She's a pretty woman. She's a pretty woman, right? And that is a fact. That is a fact, because our brother minds and heads are in different places. You see, and so if we want to have some semblance of community, I'm not saying that only Caribbeans should marry Caribbeans, because that is what people take from some of these discussions. I'm not saying that, because I just said love has no barrier. You can tell your heart who to love. I'm not saying about that. But that is why Islam have polygamy. If you love a white lady so much, fine. Marry the darkie, the next one. You understand? And then our sisters have problems with even that. They have problems with polygamy. Even Mr. Ishmael come and say, no, somebody come and say, they have a halal marriage, but no polygamy. What kind of halal marriage is that? Right? We have to learn to deal with it. Okay, we have to learn to deal with it, because if a man drops down dead and he has 5 children and a wife, what is going to happen to his sister? Because some men only think polygamy means young girls. I want 2 wives, but it must be a young girl. No. What about the woman who has, your husband is going to die. That same woman, I know women are funny creatures. A woman will tell you she's not accepting polygamy. Then she will divorce you and go and marry in a polygamy. She'll divorce you, go and marry somebody who has an ex-wife.
Is he a bad boy?
Nah, because what happened is that in their minds, the second wife is somehow favored. It's a kind of favorite position. This is what they feel, like something wrong with the other wife. You see? They feel something wrong with the other wife. Is why you want an ex-wife. Okay? Now, these are the serious things because it has to do with multiple wives, has to do with community. This is what people don't understand. When the verse came down, there were wars, and there were a lot of orphans, and a lot of single women who were widows. I'm not saying that is the only condition, okay? But I'm just showing you the sociological aspect of the revelation of the Quran. And you have these women with no husband, and you have children with no fathers. And we know that that is a prescription for trouble. Okay, so Allah says, marry these women 2, 3 or 4. He didn't say 1, he said 2, 3 or 4. You see? So what I'm saying is that even that is a community response to a woman who has either divorced or a woman who her husband has died. And Islam is so simple. You might have big daughters, and it's difficult for a woman to bring into her house a man when she has teenage daughters. It's difficult. It's not that the man is a rapist, so he's a something, You know what I'm saying? But it's an awkward, position. All right? And in Islam, she can make arrangements. You come and meet Monday, Tuesday, and you go, next week I see you Monday, Tuesday. All these things. Islam has all the remedies. Okay? But and we feel comfortable now because we are living, we have a husband. But your husband could die. Your wife could die. Okay? And you have all these kids to take care of. So these are the realities. Right? You need a community to bury you. You need a community to marry you. Okay? You need a community when you are sick. Okay? You need a community when you have problems. Okay? You need a community when we have these violent men who beat women. You see, I don't know why. Where I come from in Trinidad, brothers don't beat sisters. Because 3 angels will come at your door 3 o'clock in the morning and knock and give you a good licking. You understand? So the first that men get at the word spread. Brothers don't beat women. You see? But if you have this isolated, we live in isolation. A woman getting beat, nobody knows. She put on a veil. You understand what I'm saying? And brothers scared to go and address that problem. They don't want to get involved. They want to go to jail. That's not my business. The woman may be bad. How is the woman? The woman bad. Something wrong with her mouth. So this is what I'm saying. All of these issues, and we have somebody, we are trying to get people involved. We are trying to have education for your kids, where we can transmit Islamic sciences to your children. Okay, there's not enough our children who knows Quran, who knows Hadiths. They can be a lawyer and all these things, but where's the Islamic education? Okay, we all of these things we are trying, and there is no support. You are trying to build an Islamic community. Okay? So to build an Islamic community, you need a place. Alhamdulillah, we have a place. To start. Okay? And the only problem now is personalities. And that's a big problem. But no matter where you go, okay, you will have a problem with personalities. Because sometimes I'm sure you're even mad at your own self. You do something and say, boy, why I do this, boy? You're even mad at your own self. So if you can't live with your own self, much less another person, and we have to find a way to live, okay, with each other. Okay, we have to find a way to be in each other's space and to be comfortable with each other. Okay, we can't bring this island fighting, Jamaican fighting, Trinidadian fighting, Barbadian, small island, big. You know all this crap we bring from the Caribbean. You know what I'm saying? You know, you cook some callaloo, a Jamaican don't want to eat callaloo because all he knows is rice and peas. And next man say, I want a rice and peas. I fed up with that. You know, all of this nonsense. You know, we have to transcend that. Okay, because all of you all eating pizza. Italian, nobody saying nothing.
Word.
Nobody saying nothing, and then they going for curry. Huh? Yeah. But we fight on each other on what we eat and what we do and all these different things. So what I like to say is that this is the reality we face, and alhamdulillah, there's a cure. Okay, there's a cure. But medicines are sometimes bitter and they are painful. You know, so I like to invite especially women and their children, because you have to think about the future of your child, of your children. How are you transmitting the next generation, the Islamic knowledge to the next generation? Okay, who's going to prepare, your body when you die? Who's going to make sure that, you get a proper janaza? A brother had to get a janaza. People have to ring people to pray for him. How you have to ring people to pray for a man? You understand? If it was a community where nobody died, everybody show up. You have to ring nobody. A man died, you have to ring people. You see? That is a total failure. Failure has become our teacher. And it's time that we become the students of success. And for us to do that, we have to get rid of a lot of stuff. Okay? And that's what Islam is about. Getting rid of jahiliyyah. All them things is jahiliyyah. So we have an opportunity to work together. I invite you. We have schools. We want your kids, okay, to teach them. We want your presence for Eid, for celebrations, for discussions, for events like this. Events like that what the brother is speaking about. Where we're supposed to learn our history. We know our cuisine. The sisters will come and do fashion show. They could meet each other and paint up their nails and do what they want to do. Because there is a place. We have no more excuse. I'm like to add to it a caveat. I'm not saying this because of no cult. I'm not in no cult. I'm not in no gang. Right? I'm just telling you the reality. If you say that you're a Muslim, then what do you think about what Umar said? There is no Islam without jamat. Okay, we know that the prayer in jamat is 100 times better. Collective actions in Islam is 100 times better. And if we have to defend ourselves collectively, it means that we have to trust each other. Because if you don't trust a man, and 3 men hold him and beat him or beat a sister, and that's the next thing, sisters walking all over the place at night, and we living in a dangerous situation. These people are going to do Muslim damage, and the first line they will do damage to is Muslim women. Why? Because they are visible. A lot of brothers will just put on a nice shirt and a straight pants and they slip by. The woman in hijab and this and veil and they stay off from a mile. So who's going to protect these women? When as far as you're concerned, that's none of your business until your wife got beaten up. Then who are you going to call? Ghostbusters? No, this is reality. So these are the things I'd like you to think about, please, inshallah. And if I've offended anybody, I'm sorry for the offense. But I'm not sorry for the truth. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.